Hi, this is a webinar on the schedule options in the Setup tab in the ThinkWave Solo Gradebook. First, click on the Setup tab. In this video, we're going to go through all of the settings available under Schedule. Click on the year. Here's where you can add years, terms, subterms, periods, day schedules, and days of the week. To add a year, click on Add Year at the top left. This adds a school year using the rollover method. Here it will copy all of the students, classes, and settings to the new or previous year. Select the rollover direction you want from the pull-down menu. Roll over to the next year carrying all the data with it, or roll over to the previous year and input historical data. Then click Create Year. To select a different year at any time, you can click on the pull-down menu at the top right. If you need to change the beginning or end date of the school year to a later date, then you need to change that in the terms first. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Now go back to Setup, Schedule, and Year. Creating a year will automatically create terms and subterms. You can add custom terms by clicking Add Term. The terms and subterms have to fall within the dates of the school year. Here you can add the name, the start date, and the end date, and any optional tags. And here you have the option to exclude the term from report cards and transcripts. To edit a term that's already been created, click on that term. This gives you the option to edit the beginning and end date, which is where you would need to change it before you can change the date and the year. Term dates can overlap each other to handle rolling enrollment. If you don't need the terms created in ThinkWave by default, you can delete them here by clicking on the Delete button at the bottom left. Go back to the year, and here you can either edit the subterms, like quarters or a final, by clicking on the subterm name, or create new ones within each term by clicking on the Add Subterm link next to the term. Like how terms have to fit within a year, you must change the beginning and end dates of the subterms to be able to change the dates of the term. This is important. For instance, when rolling over a school year, the start date changes within the next year. Like now, the school year starts on July 1st instead of June 30th. Because the term date starts on June 30th, you have to change the start date within the first subterm to July 1st. Then change the term date, and finally the school year start date. And if the school date starts on June 29th, then you have to change the school year date first. Then you can change the terms and the subterms. That way the subterm start and end dates are always within the dates of the terms, and the dates of the terms are always within the school year. To assign the terms, go to the Classes tab. Then you can select which terms applies to the class here. Only the terms show up here, not the subterms, so if you choose one of the terms, then the subterms will automatically be included in that. To see this, go back to the Setup tab and click on the Grading options. And here you have the option to have the ThinkWave system automatically calculate the term grades by putting the percent of what each subterm counts towards the final grade by clicking Average Subterms, and putting in the percent for each quarter. It has to total 100%, so for instance, the first quarter counts for 40%, and the second quarter counts for 40%, and then the final counts for 20%. And the ThinkWave system will automatically calculate the term grade. Now go back to the Setup tab, and under Schedule, click Periods. And here you can create a custom period, or edit existing ones. And you can have an all-day period like for an elementary class. It doesn't matter if periods overlap. Here you can add periods by clicking on the Add Period link. And here you can add the name, and here the start and end times. You must use a 24-hour format, so 1300 hours instead of 1 p.m. And here you can add optional tags. And here you can select if you want the period to record attendance automatically. You can edit the periods automatically created in ThinkWave system by clicking on the period name. To assign the periods to a class, click on the Classes tab. And go down to the Schedule where you can assign the different periods for each day. There's also the ability to assign a no meeting on a particular day, and that would be there if no attendance is taken on that day. Now go back to the Setup tab, and under Schedule, select Day Schedule. Day schedules are an option for days where the schedule would be different. Like for instance, a minimum day, where it ends earlier. You can add custom schedules by clicking on the Add Schedule link, and then add the name of the custom schedule you want, like minimum day, or if you want it to be an AB schedule. Once a schedule is created, you can edit it by clicking on the name, like minimum day here. And here you can select which periods are in that day by adding here or removing here. And you can change the start and end times for each period here. You can delete the custom schedule by clicking on the Delete button at the bottom left. I'll show you how to assign a custom schedule to specific days in a second. Going back to Schedule, here on Days of the Week, you can add a day of the week by clicking on Add or Delete by clicking on the trash can icon. Once a day is added, it becomes available in the Classes tab. This will determine the days in which attendance gets marked, unless otherwise noted by holidays or custom schedules. Back to the Setup tab, and Schedule. Monthly calendars and holidays is where you can select whether a day has a default schedule, a custom schedule, or whether it's a holiday. You will have to assign each custom schedule to each day manually. So for instance, if you have an AB schedule, you'll have to manually assign each day. Click on the month below, and then you can select the days that are within that designated school year. Click on a day, and you can select the schedule from the pull-down menu. Here's where you can select to have a custom schedule. Or you can select if there is no classes that day, like for a holiday. And here you can enter an optional name. And these are the options available for the schedules in the Setup tab in the ThinkWave Solo Gradebook. Thanks for watching.